I have been thinking I have decided to try something new here in my channel. And I know there is people who are seeing the Expanse and they're posting reviews of what the episodes seems to them, things like that. And I decided that I will do something different. And I don't know, I've been thinking a lot about the characters of the Expanse world. And for me, they are the important part of the story. I have always been more interested in characters than in plots. I mean, if a plot is good but the characters are meh, I probably will end up leaving the book or the series or whatever. But if the characters are strong and believable and human, it's a sure way for me to stay tuned into the series, book, wherever. So here's the thing, I have been writing Mustings, I don't know exactly how do you pronounce that, Mustings, on my Twitter. And today I wrote one from Miller's point of view, and I kind of relate to that one because for me Miller is a spectacular character. I mean, when I was reading the book and he spoiler died, I feel very tempted to throw the book away and say I'm done with it because I don't know, he was a character with whom I resonate a lot. The way he has to see the way he has to act and to relate with everyone. For me, he's a very strong character. And when I saw the series and I saw Thomas Jane playing him, it was like, oh my god, he's perfect. The mannerisms, the way he moves, everything, it's amazing. Why is Miller so important for me? I think that Miller, in a way, is someone who is a lost soul. He doesn't have anything. I mean, when he gets out of his job, he was home and there's no one waiting for him. In the book, we find out that he's being divorced and that his wife has left him. And in the series, he simply has no one, and it's hinted that he had some relation with a comrade, but it didn't work out. So he's a character that doesn't exactly fit in the world because at home he's alone, and even into his job, he's like a bit of an outsider. He's a welter but tries to be a human being. So he's with some kind of human police patrol who's, walking around and trying to stop belters, and belters think that he's a traitor, so he doesn't fit with them because there's this part of him that doesn't feel exactly like a belter because he will want to be something more, and there's this part of him and his job where he doesn't exactly fit in like a human because he's not human, he's a belter. So I think that he has this dichotomy inside of him, and in a way, I kind of see that in the way his eye is still, because one side is like very long, human, normal thing, and the other one it's just very short, and it's like this dichotomy, this two faces he's trying to meddle together or something. And for me, it's very important what happens to him when he's shown this photograph of Julie Mao, and he's told that there's this rich girl who has disappeared, and that he has to help find her and bring her home. And suddenly he is in, and he began to discover things about this woman, and he doesn't know her and he knows nothing about her. But the more he knows, the more he sees, the more photographs he discovers, the more things he learns about her. He even enters at her home and begins discovering him personal things, the more he feels attracted to her. And at the beginning I was like, I can't believe that he's acting like this, he doesn't know her. But then it came to me, how many times we have done the same thing. I mean, there's this actor I like, there's this actress I like, there's this musician, there's this guy next door, this girl next door that I know nothing about, but suddenly, bang, there is like some kind of resonance in you, and you're head over heels over the person. Not necessarily it has to be love or infatuation. Sometimes it's like you want to know more about this person, and you want to relate, and you begin to find things, and you begin to like these things, and if you like these things, you begin to hatch into this person. And you want to learn more, and then you began projecting ideas of how this person really is, and then you create this kind of amalgamation again in which there's this physicality in which you are pouring your desires and your motivations and whatever. And I think that in a way that's what happens with Miller and Julie. Julie is this character, this is this persona, but at the beginning we see only her from Miller's point of view, what he projects, what he wants her to be. He knows that he fights for the Belters, he knows that he has left everything she had. She was a rich kid, she was a great pilot, she had a very powerful father, and all of a sudden she left everything behind in order to fight for the people who have nothing, the Belters. And I think that here Miller begins his awakening. And for me, that's very powerful because the more he learns, the more he's attracted to her. But there's this part of him where he doesn't know if he's going to see her or if she is even gonna like him. I remember in the series when he's being beat up and he's told that if Julie Ma was alive, she wouldn't like him. And you can see that he's wounded because he wants to see her. He wants to believe that she will be okay and that they will have some kind of future together. And for me, it's very important that in the book, opposite that in the series, when they go to series, Miller is thinking about not coming back. He is fed up with life. He has discovered that he has absolutely nothing to fight for, and that he had this idea, this girl that gave him purpose, that gave him the idea that he could be better, that he could find her and help her. I don't think that he was thinking about helping her go home, but helping her be who she was. And if luck permitted, he wanted to be with her, but when he discovered she's dead, she's gone, she's lost, and so is he. So he wants to, stay in series and just let it be. So yeah, for me it was like a very powerful moment. And in the series, I found that he isn't having the suicidal thoughts. He's kind of redeemed himself at that point, and he wants to fight for the good guys. And when then he discovers that there is this faulty thing in the bomb, and that he has to be the one to put it and to blow cities up because the other ship doesn't collide, and well, you know the story. But I think that the series is more positive in the way that it's more like a hero, a romantic idea of a person who is going to sacrifice himself for the good of humanity, and then he's rewarded by finding Julie and being able to connect with her. And in the book, he is going to lose everything, he's lost everything, he's lost hope, and in a way he also finds Julie and connects with her, and that brings hope to him. But but in the same time, in both books and series, he ends up dying. And for me, that's very powerful because obviously not thinking about the suicide thing, but I think it's very powerful that he has devoted all his life to doing things. Maybe they weren't the right things, maybe they weren't the correct ways, they were the easy ways out. That's why the musing I published today in Twitter says that remember when life used to be easier, and then we complicated it, running after chimeras and after dreams and ideas. I think that for him, Julie was a wake-up call, a way to see I'm doing nothing with my life, I've lost my way, and I need to find a motivation. And for him, this idea, this love, this obsession, because it ends being an obsession with him. Naomi thinks when he see his face, when they met Julie and Julie's dead, Miller, it's he feels it, he's sad, he's destroyed. And Naomi says, hey, let him be, he knew her. So it's what he feels is so powerful that he felt like he knew her. I don't know, it's amazing. I think that Miller is a character that has a lot of potential. For me, it was very sad to see him go. I know that he comes back, but he's like Proto Miller, if you want. But I don't know, what do you think about Miller? Do you like him? Do you despise him? Because I know, in a way, he was a man who wasn't sure about who he was, about his ethnicity, about his place in the world, and it was love maybe, but I think it was the ideas he projected into Julie's mouth figure that allowed him to begin changing and accepting himself and stopping this dichotomy that he was trying to be something he wasn't. He was trying to be human because he wanted to be a welter, he didn't want to be oppressed. So for me, that was very important to have this dichotomy, this sense of not fitting anywhere. He didn't fit anywhere. At home, he was alone, as I say. At work, he wasn't a human. Outside the world, was considered him a traitor. So, for me, it was amazing to see how all these pieces began to connect and make up for the puzzle that Miller is. So yeah, sorry for all this long speech, and if you want to comment or you have any opinion about Miller, just post it here and I'll be happy to keep on talking about him. So thank you for seeing. Bye.